Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Time. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Oh my God, why am I so big? Look at me. That's not supposed to be the case. Hold on just 1 second. This is so bizarre. I have a strange issue with my interface on the webcam since there was an update introduced. Let me see if I can change this. Hold on just a second. I look mysteriously big. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Hold on just a second. I am going to do that. Oh, there you go. Well, still a little bit ginormous. I am sorry about this. I don't know if I can make it go away. Ah, there you go. Ha ha ha. No, I'm a little bit too small. Da 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 da. Okay. That looks reasonable. My bad. I am so sorry. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook. Yes, I know that today we did not have a lot of news to share, but I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to kill time with this little interesting glitch. Here we are. It is Friday, and I am so happy that it is Friday. I'm not very happy about the fact that we don't have a lot of news, but I'm not going to let that get us all worked up, am I? Luisa says, where is Dora? Is she hanging out with Brian? Dora is going through therapy because when Brian said, well, she's been saying the same thing over and over again, she felt a little bit of a complex, and she's working on her repertoire, but she will come back quite soon. On the other hand, I have a general question. Well, I don't know that it is a question. As you know, I've adopted some creatures, like we have a pooping bunny, and we have a farting iguana, and we have a what the fuck cat, and we have an evil laugh parrot, which we haven't seen in a while. Let us revisit the evil laugh parrot. Anyhow, you get the picture. Well, I have found a farting horse, and I thought, oh my God, we have to have a farting horse. But then I thought to myself, am I going to start losing subscribers because of all this silliness? So if you think a farting horse is a good idea, please write farting horse in your comment, and we will consider this for the future. We do have at least 2 important bits of news, or interesting bits of news, that I want to share with you. And other than that, I'm going to ask you an important question in a little while, and I'm going to hope for some useful feedback. But first, let us cue this bit of news, which does not surprise me and shouldn't surprise you. Is this highway being completed in the month of September an impossible promise? Yes, it is. As you know, President López Obrador was in the region a week ago, and he made a promise that the final stretch of the Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta highway would be ready to be inaugurated by September 20th or 30th. However, the actual progress of the project seems to contradict the president's word. According to local experts, it is more realistic to say that the new the final stretch of the new Guadalajara highway, which is the one that connects Bucerias with Puerto Vallarta at the airport, will not be finished until the first few months of the following year. So don't get too excited about that stretch of the highway. It won't happen just yet. And all you have to do is drive by where it meets the city, and you can confirm that yourself. The other bit of news that I have to share with you is the fact that Mexico celebrates National Crocodile Day today, even when June 17 is World Crocodile Day. Go figure. So the headline of this article made me laugh because it says places where you can see them for free, which is kind of funny when you consider the fact this came from Informador, which is a Guadalajara-based newspaper. If you live in Puerto Vallarta full time, you know that the most common places to spot crocodiles is, crossing the main avenue, the main Francisco Medina Asensio Avenue, or hanging out on the streets of Marina Vallarta, or the car dealerships located next to the estuary, or the occasional beach here in town. But seriously, the article does mention it mentions one place where you can go spot crocodiles safely if you so desired. The article mentions the road to Boca de Tomates next to the international airport, which is not a bad deal because you can see the crocodiles at a couple of spots along the way. And then, of course, when you get to the beach at Boca de Tomates, it is absolutely wonderful to be able to enjoy some grilled fish, zarandeado style, at one of the many eateries located there. If you haven't had this experience, this is one of those experiences that I totally recommend for locals. And the other place that is not mentioned on this article is the sanctuary called El Cora. The crocodile sanctuary called El Cora is located near Flamingos in Nuevo Nayarit. If you are heading from Flamingos to Puerto Vallarta, in other words, if you're heading southbound along Highway 200, there is a small detour to go to the sanctuary right after Flamingos. I have been there, and that is totally a worthwhile visit should you ever want to go exploring there. And because it is not mentioned here on the article, I have included the Facebook page for El Cora on your show. They are your show notes, even though you haven't seen them, but you will see them right after the broadcast is over. Let us quickly jump over to the weather forecast. And weather forecast says, it's a big word. Surprise, motherfracker. It is partly cloudy. Well, yes, it is. I actually was enjoying a lovely breeze coming into the apartment this morning. And I can tell you that right now we're enjoying 27 degrees Celsius. Humidity is very high at 88%. And today we can expect mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 52%, a high of 31, and a low of 22. And then on Saturday, we can expect light rain with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, a chance of rain of 68%, a high of 31, and a low of 22. And then Sunday, a high of 25. No, a high of 31 and a low of 23. What am I talking about? Sunday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. And a chance of rain of 75. So we had already seen a rainy weekend headed our way. And that is indeed what is going to be the case. And oh my goodness, there you go. I'm looking for myself and I have found me. What else do we have for you today? I am sorry, I'm a little distracted. Just a quick reminder that the Spotlight is coming back this coming Wednesday. This will be episode 23. We'll have all the information in the show notes. And most importantly, we'll have the registration page for this particular production online. It is unfortunate that we have to create a different registration page for each show, but it helps me get a sense as to who is actually going to show up and who is not going to show up. And then, of course, I want to remind you that tomorrow is Drag Brunch with Karma La Perra at El Rey Lounge de Versalles. I understand they still had a few seats left. If you have not made any plans, this is something you may want to consider. And last but not least, given the fact that our news choices were pretty slim today, why don't we do this one more time? As we head into the comments section, please complete this statement. I wish Coffee and Headlines would cover more news about blank. So please start your statement with more news about, and add your suggestions. As you know, I go by instinct in choosing what to bring to the table. We don't do a lot of shootings or accidents or kidnappings or things like that. But do let me know in your comment what other types of coverage you would like to see more of here at Coffee and Headlines. And I also haven't, well, let me hold on to my other questions just to see how the comments are looking so far, and we'll take it from there. Ooh, I just took a big gulp from my coffee. Yummy. Okay, let us take a look at your comments. I see good mornings and good afternoons. Thank you very much for that. And let's see what else we have. The home of the world famous Nanaimo bar. Kathy, I am so intrigued about this whole Nanaimo concept. I understand there's a candy bar called Nanaimo. Is this true? If so, I would love to try it. Let's see what else we have. Oh, thank you very much, Lars. Lars says, I have been listening to Aretha all morning. Loved yesterday's music presentation. So did I. It was so much fun to put it together, and I was so happy to see 16 of you were there to enjoy the presentation. 16 attendees in August in Puerto Vallarta. I am so excited about that. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we have. Eric is here. Eric is here. And this reminds me of course, you know, Eric is the owner of the Joint Boutique Hotel. He is a community partner, and he is also the owner of another hotel in Cuyutlán, El Oasis de Cuyutlán. That's the name of the hotel. And you may recall that I went to Cuyutlán just a few months ago to visit my friends David and Scott's hotel, but now Eric has taken over another hotel down there, and he's invited me, a bunch with a couple of other friends, to go check it out. And I'm going to be going for a weekend in a couple of weeks. So do let me know if you would like to see more coverage of Cuyutlán and the new hotel, which is about 5 to 6 hours away from Puerto Vallarta, or you would like for me to prepare content related to something else. Let's see what else we have. Chris says, got a fresh coffee, a slice of banana bread with a spread of peanut butter, all ready for the podcast. That sounds yummy. Yummy. I need to get some crackers or something, because I remember I purchased a jar of cashew spread, and I haven't really gotten into it. So maybe that's a fun thing to do over the weekend. Logan says, checking in while I wait for CFE to restore my power. Anybody else around Fluvial or Zona Hotelera or Versalles without electricity? This morning, Logan asked me this privately earlier, and of course we have electricity. Otherwise, we would not be able to broadcast. Let's see what else we have. Thank you for that, Jim. Loved learning more about Aretha yesterday evening. I appreciate that very much. Ba-dum, bum. Thank you for that, Betsy. I'm glad that you enjoyed the presentation. Yay. Oh, yes, Dora was bullied. That is so funny. That's okay. Dora can take it. And it's so nice to see your sense of humor aligning with mine. Betsy, Chris, Ronald, Marie, Jim, Mark, and Albert, and Kathy, and Luisa. No, Luisa is out drinking. Everybody else I mentioned. Oh, and Karen really enjoy or have supported the idea of a farting horse. I will add him to the repertoire. Linda, I didn't get a chance to talk to you much yesterday, but I am so very happy that you were there. Lots of laughs and even shed a tear. You know, that's what I experience when I give myself completely to music. You know, when I allow myself the pleasure to focus on a performance without other distractions, and I just let my body and my heart react to it. That's what we aim for. So if that's what you experienced, then we must be doing something right. And I thank you so much for that remark. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Brian. See, you've given Dora a complex. She is not in... Oh, hold on. She's not in the attic. We don't have an attic, but she's taking a rest. Let's see. The photo you showed is old. Ram. Okay, Harold starts with a nice, lovely, appreciative statement. The photo you showed is old. The bridge is further along, but the highway is still slow going because 3 or 4 more bridges have to be finished. Well, Harold, thank you very much for that. The photo I showed is not my photo. It's the photo that came from the news article. So please don't shoot the messenger. Thank you. Was the croc ever removed from the Quale? To the best of my of my knowledge, there is still a croc hanging out on the Quale. So I have not seen any news of a croc being captured at the Quale. Let's see. More feedback for Aretha. Thank you very much, sir. It was great to see you yesterday. Ba-dum-bum-bum. I think the most popular vantage point has to be the Malecón Bridge over the Rio Quale, as I pass through there every day on my way to and from work. People line up along the railing to catch a glimpse. Yes, there you ho. There you ho. There you go. There you go, ho. So that means that the croc is still hanging out on the Quale. Let's see what else. The road to El Cora used to be iffy to drive during the rainy season. I can confirm that, but I don't think it's been raining enough for the road to be so ugly. It's just a matter of going, and if you cannot get out there all the way, then you can go somewhere else. Let's see. Now this is funny. Did you say that one of the best places to see a croc was near the car dealerships next to the El Salado estuary? That is Industrial Street where my condo is. What fun, says Kathy. Well, you know, I have to say, Kathy, that of all the crocodile sighting articles that we mention here at Coffee and Headlines, we always mention at least one or two every year where the crocodiles happen to step into the car dealership. So, you know, and then there was that one time where there was a sighting on the main avenue in Marina Vallarta. It was late at night. A guy was heading to his pickup truck, and as he was getting ready to open the door, there was a giant crocodile hanging out under his pickup truck. So, you know, just be careful out there, particularly if you are in populated areas. Ba-dum bum bum, ba-dum bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Sue says, I only have to walk to the corner to see one. We have one living in the canal behind our house, but further down the canal near the new bridge. There you go, Sue. Laura asks, what would you highly recommend at Barbacoa? I would start with their two essentials. Their barbacoa tacos, which are beef, and their pork rind tacos, which are pork. You know, I would have one of each and take it from there. That's like their staple. That's their basic food. They're like 30 or 35 pesos each. It's a freaking bargain. That said, they will also whip out outstanding beef cuts that they serve with asparagus and mashed potatoes, etc., etc. All those things are more expensive, but very delicious, it seems. I've only gone there for their basic fare, and it was absolutely delicious. I went back last night. I couldn't help it. Harold says, more news about Bahía de Banderas, Nayarit. Hey, if I see them printed, I always share them. It's not like there's a lot of pickings, but I'm happy to take that into consideration. Let's see. More news about art music festivals. I'm happy to do that, as it's right. Yeah, it's what I love the most. And again, Paula, we don't hold back on that information. Just as an FYI, it's not like we go and say, well, this is an art festival, but we're not going to mention it. That said, the Jalisco Philharmonic published their final season of the year, and it goes on starting in, I believe, in October, and it goes on all the way to December. I'll gladly share the link to that, but of course this is in Guadalajara, in the show notes. Let's see. Spencer says, news about jazz venues in town, sports events, thanks. I don't think we have a jazz venue in town, and I'm being slightly catty here. The only place that does jazz in town is Cuates y Cuetes. It's a restaurant. So it's not a jazz venue. It's a restaurant that has jazz musicians playing while you eat. If that is your cup of tea, I'll be happy to look for more information about that. I know that I can be a little bit special about venues and stuff like that. Sport events, noted. I'll be happy to look for more. Thank you very much for your comment. Everybody keeps talking. Well, not everybody, but Liz, I hear about these Nanaimo bar cookies. Maybe I'll talk to Mihal when she comes back from Canada. She'll bring me some. Let's see what else. Janina says, I really like when you do the neighborhood walks and the little around town, just outside of town highlights, like off the beaten paths, restaurants, and activities. I appreciate that, Janina, and we will continue to do more of this moving forward. I do wish you will kindly keep some things in perspective. Number one, it's really hot out there in the summer, so it's not like this lovely human being of mine it's just not that comfortable to be walking a lot this time of year. And of course, I just went through 3 weeks of internet hell, which has curtailed my ability to do other things. But yes, as soon as the weather gets better, do expect more walks and more exploration out there. In fact, as you know, our community partners are here to help me invest in better equipment to do things like that. And I am actually presently looking forward to a couple of things that I purchased that will arrive shortly and will facilitate, weather aside, the ability to do more out and about stuff. More news in general, charities, volunteer opportunities. I totally agree with you, Kathy, but I have to bring up an interesting point. One thing is to go looking for headlines, which is what I do. And that's fairly easy to do because there is technology to go looking for headlines. And another thing is to hypothetically get on the phone and call each organization and say, hey, so do you have any volunteer opportunities? I have to say, and I'm going to be a little bit whiny here, that it's not like organizations that have volunteering opportunities are all that forthcoming of that kind of information. And I will say that acquiring that kind of information takes time. If I see spotlight or headlines that have to do with somebody looking for volunteers, I will be so very happy to mention it. But it takes two to tango in that regard. And this is my open wish to anyone that is in an organization that has volunteering activities. Please take the time to publish a notice on Facebook. Take the time to let the media know, and I mean myself, and I mean anybody else that is promoting information here in Puerto Vallarta. Because I'm happy to reproduce and connect information with you guys, but when there is no information to connect with, it's a little challenging. Let's see what else we have. What town is Eric's other hotel in Cuyutlan? And this is in the state of Colima, just south of Manzanillo. Laura says 65 days until touchdown. Lovely. Sue says any upcoming cultural events. I'm happy to do that. Particularly this month, of course, we have Independence Day month around the corner. And then, of course, November is Day of the Dead month. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. Sorry to hear that some of you are having sound issues. It doesn't seem to be me. La 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 la. There's a queue. Maybe if the crocs continue to increase in population, we'll see a barbacroc. A barbacroc. You know, there are places that do serve crocodile meat. Let's see what else. Kathy's bringing her Nanaimo cookie recipe. Now I'm even more intrigued. Jonathan says, did you watch the final night of the DNC convention? I did not. I went out to have some fun food with my friends. And then I came home and I was excited. And the best thing happened because last night I slept uninterrupted from 11 o'clock at night all the way to 7 o'clock in the morning. It is a gift to be able to do that. Kathy and I love it when you explore Puerto Vallarta after dark, the entire town, tacos, etc., etc. Noted. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. Maybe we can mention things when we become aware of them. Not much effort required. You're absolutely correct, Albert. There's just a couple of things to consider in that case. Whenever you put a URL in your comment, this URL will not be presented on the chat because by design, because what we're trying to avoid is a bunch of spammers coming on board and adding a lot of things that we don't care to see. The best way to alert me, if you care to do so, of something that you saw or read in a credible source that you may want to share with me is either using the contact form on the website or by sending me a private chat message. And again, if you spot something that we can add to the mix, I'm always happy to share it with you. You guys have excellent feedback. I appreciate that very much. And I think that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Yes. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for your feedback. It is much appreciated. Again, when you don't see a lot of news, it's not because I'm arbitrarily keeping them from you. It's because I don't see a lot of news that I know you might be interested in. So all the feedback that you provided me with today helps me have a clear idea of what that is, and I appreciate it very much. I hope you'll have a great Friday, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, and more comments and conversation. Have a great day.